To prove Andreasen scary. The first thing I did after returning to high school was to go on the Andrea I reached the school gate. If you're willing, I go with you today. Seeing this, all the students in the school said I was crazy. As the campus heartbeat, I didn't choose the stunning school belle, Jessica, but instead the Chloe, known for being an ingede and possessive. Feeling the warmth from Chloe's face, I smiled. Chloe wasn't an ingede at all. She was the best person in the world. On my wedding day, Chloe, wearing a white wedding dress, was particularly eye-catching. But the protagonist wasn't for. She walked towards me, her street, but when she opened her mouth, she was still that same deadly sarcastic tone. Honestly, the bride is just words. Why don't you consider me? Forget IT. You have a heart condition. Marrying you and then having to remarry would be too much trouble. I wrote my eyes at her. My heart just has a mindless fear. I'm not going to die. Otto said that Chloe, now grown up, he'd become a beautiful CEO, Lufent una prahable, but only with me did she maintain her old Yandra sharp, tongue Jimmy on. People who didn't know would think we had dated and then became enemies after breaking up. Actually, during my student days, I had stumbled upon Chloe's Yelkip secret, which is W. Russia, the richest, had always bullied me, and now, even at my wedding, she had to come and say a few shared words. As she was speaking, she suddenly leaned in close to me, her slender fingertips gently brushing my face. I froze. I subconsciously stepped back. She lowered her eyelids, gazing at me, a flicker of imperceptible disappointment in her eyes. Soon, she straightened up and smiled nonchalantly. You have confession you ahead. Before I could reply, she mocked me disdainfully. Look at you. You think it actually kiss you. I wouldn't even look twice at you. And I thought about IT. Indeed, she was a richer, now a beautiful CEO. How could she possibly like me? After seeing that, she turned and left. I didn't even see her at the wedding banquet. I never expected that her turning back would be the last time I saw her. It wasn't until 3 years later that I suddenly had a heart attack and was rushed to the hospital for emergency treatment. The doctor said IT was a minor surgery. Nothing to worry about. Unech Pitstedler. I had excellent care during the surgery requiring a heart transplant, but my condition was critical, and there was no time to find a matching heart. Lying in the ICU, though unconscious, I could still hear voices. I heard my mother crying so loudly, thinking my wife Jessica had run off, leaving a letter. The letter said I was a good person, and before leaving she had taken the card with my years of savings. My consciousness flickered. I had given that card to Jessica to pay the hospital bills. Clearly Jessica had chosen to abandon me, taking the card and running, perhaps knowing I was about to die. Her departure didn't sadden me much. I didn't know how many days I lay in the ICU mostly unconscious. In 8 days I was already on the operating table. When I woke up, the doctor said the surgery was very successful. I asked my mother whose heart it was. I wanted to pay respect on that person, but my mother was evasive. She just handed me a bank card. There are 5 million here. Life well from now on. I was puzzled. Mom, how do you have so much money? My mom explained IT was her and dad's retirement savings. I didn't believe IT at all. They were both teachers. How could they have saved so much? However, I didn't press further. They were intellectuals and wouldn't do anything illegal. After being discharged, my good friend came to see me. He said Chloe was dead. For some reason, my heart ached terribly. Words almost choked out from deep in my throat. How could she die? He shook his head, saying he didn't know, only telling me the location of Chloe's grave. Chloe's death was too sudden for me. I thought that selfish, and angry Andreas would like to be 100. I knew where Chloe lived there, and as I did be a ghost, I went to her apartment. The door had a password lock. 3 incorrect attempts would automatically lock IT. I tried her birdie, her lucky number, all wrong. For the last attempt, I entered the password of the bank card my mom had given me. 77 025, read backward 52,77, which sounds like I love you, Ethan, in Chinese internet slang. As the door opened, my heart trembled. violently. That hurts him to be telling me to leave quickly, not to go in. But the Moilex oldent erbij, and I opinion that die bedroom daoor. On the wall behind his bed was a large photo frame filled with pictures of me. Some photos were muddied and faded, taken during our school days. Some were taken during the years we hadn't seen each other. There was also one of me in a suite on my wedding day. I picked up a photo and found writing on the back. Looking through a theorem, I discovered writing on the back of every photo. Ethan, besides being good at studying, you're terrible at everything else, especially judging people. You are tasty Isaufru. How could you fall for that to Jessica? Ethan, you do call me crazy. Just you wait. Tamara, I stop liking you. It's been a year. Ethan, I still like you. But Ethan, how could you stumble upon the secret? I didn't want anyone to know. IT makes me afraid to say I like you. Not 3 years. Every time I tease I'm downstairs from your place. Think you be sure when I tease and my heart I feel so cold anymore. Ethan, I will left all my savings for you. From now on, you can only smile, not see ROI. If you do see ROI, I haunt you even as a ghost. Honestly, I'm quite happy. I can finally be with you. From now on, our hearts will beat as one until death do us part. I was afraid my fouling tears would the voters, so I sniffled and desperatello wiped the air rui. Your words were like knives, stabbing my heart until it was a bloody message. I fell to my knees, clutching my ear-trenching chest. Slayer, you're retaliating against me, aren't you? You resent me for knowing your secret, so you're punishing me, right? You're truly rotters. Now that your heart is in my body, I don't even dare to die. I had never felt such despair, crossed by immense regret and grief that I'd sold and breathed. Tears instantly blurred my vision. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in my high school days. The sun slanted down and leaned against the school gate, soaking on a lollipop. I glanced at the data. It was the day I stumbled upon her secret. Chloe. I ran towards her quickly, embracing her. Chloe's body stiffened. Unsure how to react, she nervously clenched her hands, not daring to move. After a long while, Chloe looked up and asked, "Did you hug the wrong person?" "No," I sniffled, and my nose red. Looking at her in my arms, I raised my hand and carefully placed it over her heart. "Chloe, I missed you." I felt Chloe's heart skip a beat under my palm. Then, it started beating faster and faster. I looked down at her, tears swelling up in my eyes without me realizing. And Chloe, in my arms, her cheeks flushed crimson, the blush rapidly spreading to her ears. "Ethan, do you know what you're saying?" "I know," I repeated earnestly. "I missed you." Chloe froze, reaching out to eyes the tears from the corner of my eyes, then stared intently at me. "Why are you saying these things? Don't you hate me? Hate me for acting like a psycho and provoking you all the time." Her voice choked with sobs and she laughed her head dejectedly. In our student days, Chloe and I were from 2 different worlds. She was a rich recent house, a younger school bully, and I was in order to say a top student who only knew how to study. I didn't hate her. It was just that a mountain bear and a fish traveled different paths. Faced with her provocations, I didn't know how to handle them. So, I subconsciously avoided her. I was about to explain when I saw someone push her heart from behind and start cursing at her. "Chloe, have you no shame? You're trying to steal the person I like to." Person student stopped, their gazes turning towards us, ready for a show. The newcomer was Jessica. If others were afraid of Chloe, Jessica wasn't. She relied on the fact that I liked her and knew Chloe undertouched her. Jessica took my hand. "Ethan, shall we go eat later?" I shook off Isitsa's hand and nervously steadied Chloe, who had almost fallen. I looked at Jessica with disgust. "Are you sick?" Isitsa's mouth fell open, looking incredulously at my hand. Supporting Chloe. "Ethan, is this psycho threatening you? Don't be afraid. Daesh in being a school bully means she can do whatever she wants in school. I go tell the teacher. She get that's coming to her. A wave of anger surged within me. Would someone who threatened me secretly protect me in the dark? Would someone who threatened me give me their heart when I was dying? In contrast, Jessica took my medical money and ran. Thinking of this, I angrily pointed at Jessica, and my finger trembling with rage. If you're blind, go see a doctor. Don't loiter in front of us. Who said Chloe threatened me? Jessica froze for a moment. Her face turning pale as she looked at Schleyer. Ethan, are you sure you want to defend the psycho today? I retorted irritably. Didn't you brush your teeth today? Which is your mouth stink so much? Calling people psycho left and right. Do you have any manners? Jessica was exasperated. What kind of spell did she cast on you? Don't tell me you like her. Yes, I just like her. I took Chloe's hand, but she didn't cast any spell on me. I willingly like her. As soon as I finished speaking, the unliking students started discussing in surprise. Issy turned crazy giving up the outstanding school bell Jessica for a psychiandra. But a student interrupted. Grades aren't the only measure of a person. Auta Chloe is a bit psycho at times. Her looks are definitely better than Yesitsa's. During PE class, a classmate almost got hit in the head by a ball. Jessica was standing right there. She didn't help, just glanced into our Troy. It was Chloe who rushed over and blocked the ball, saving Kevin. I think Ethan and Chloe are a better match. Hearing the students' discussion, Jessica was furious. Ethan, you're supposed to be a cabral. What's wrong with you? I caught her off. Who's a cabral with you? Did you imagine it? In high school, I never dated Jessica. Classmates just shipped us as a top student cabral. And over time, everyone spread rumors that we were dating. Even up to our wedding, people said we were a happy example of a campus first love leading to marriage. Thinking back now, it's disgusting enough. Jessica gritted her teeth in anger. You regret being with a psycho like her. I smiled. Don't worry. I definitely won't regret it. And you're as a psycho, I am a moral, characterless psycho. My words hit Yesitsa's weak spot and she rushed over in anger and shame, grabbing my arm. Seeing Jessica grab me, Chloe's face suddenly turned sinister. She darted forward, grabbed the Yesitsa's wrist, and twisted it sharply backward. With a click, the sound of a dislocated bone was heard. Jessica released my hand, screaming in pain. It hurts. It hurts. Let go. Chloe's face was grim. Horror is pathological, and she twisted Yesitsa's wrist backward again with force. If you touch him again, believe it or not, he break your hand. You know him a psycho capable of anything. Jessica was sweating profusely from fear, nudging desperately. I owned her. As soon as Chloe let go, Jessica, whispers in her eyes, scrambled away. Chloe turned round, looking at me with a strange, inscrutable expression. Then, without a word, she strode off. I glanced at the time. There were still 3 hours until I was supposed to stumble upon Chloe's secret. I had to prevent it from happening. I quickly followed her. Chloe, I have something to tell you. Chloe ignored me. When they reached a deserted spot, she suddenly turned back. You're not Ethan. Who are you? My steps halted. After a moment of surprise, I asked back, why do you say I'm not Ethan? Chloe's eye darkened and she stared at me with an unreadable expression. I know Ethan's personality. I remember her religious habits, so I know at a glance you're not him. I was slightly stunned. Chloe knew me that well. I am Ethan. I stepped closer to her. I had a dream. In the dream, the god of marriage told me, you're my future wife, and told me to be more cheerful and lively, not just a rich bookworm, or yet have a hard time getting along. I think the god of marriage was absolutely right. So, here I am starting to change. Chloe's lips curled into a smile. Do you think I'm a fool? I took her another step forward, closing the distance between us instantly. How could there be such a beautiful fool like you? I wanted to teach her and asked to know if the student army as teacher liked me. Would she say it directly or choose to keep hiding it? You know me so well. Do you like me? Chloe glanced at me, paused for a few seconds, then said yes. After speaking, she took a lollipop from her school uniform pocket, put I in för maort, and continued walking forward without looking back. I jagged to catch up with her. 10. Why didn't you confess to me? Ivy said it many times. I asked, when did you say it? Chle stopped her abruptly and I caught a guard, bumped into her back. Her back was to me, her silhouette trembling slightly in every teasing remark I made to provoke you. I was afraid of being too serious and scaring you, and also afraid of not being serious enough for you then self to understand. And afraid you'd understand and invite me. I won't invite you anymore. I hugged her from behind. Chloe turned and pushed me away. You're not Ethan. Stay away from me, I said urgently. I am Ethan. Really? Chloe huffed, arms crossed. You said you had a dream. The god of marriage said him your future wife. I nodded emphatically. Chloe hummed swiftly. Since I'm your future wife, then come here and kiss me. What? Unwilling. That means you're lying to me. I walked up to her and just as she was smiling, I kissed her on the cheek. Chloe's eyes flickered. Then her tone became somewhat sinister. Just one kiss. I was stunned for a moment, and she suddenly pressed the back of my head, and then a warm kiss landed on my lips, light as a feather. But after I closed my eyes, I slowly deepened. The gardenias nearby swayed gently in the wind, and in the depth light and shadow, the girl gently held my face. Ethan, you're advanced him, still so innocent. Chloe's voice was as light as a whisper. My head was spinning from the kiss, and I didn't quite hear what she said. I asked her, do you believe him Ethan now? She shook her head, pinched my cheek, and turned to leave, casually tossing out. Not sure. Needs further investigation. I felt like it'd been played. I glanced at the time and hurriedly chased after Chloe, grabbing her arm. Can I take you out to play? No. I treat you to dance. No. I take you gaming all night. I treat. Chloe turned her face, looking me over meaningfully. You've been following me and stopping me all day. What are you trying to do? Did I? I suddenly stammered. I have things to do. Stop following me. Chloe glared at me fiercely. If you follow me again, I kiss you to death. Believe it or not, I covered my mouth through to the spot. After a few steps, Chloe suddenly turned back, her expression becoming exceptionally serious. After a moment of contemplation, her tone softened slightly. Ethan, stop following me and then go past that restaurant. I smiled and replied, okay. She turned and walked towards that restaurant. I immediately turned and ran desperately. In another direction that also led to the restaurant. I wasn't afraid of her knowing it stumbled upon her secret and her distancing herself from me out of shame. I was afraid of her getting hurt. Since I'd soon prevent it from happening this time, I would face it with her. The day I stumbled upon her secret, I went to the bookstore to buy study materials and passed by the Grand View restaurant. Passing by that upscale restaurant, I saw Chloe's face being brutally pressed against the wall by her father, already discreet and bleeding. You little bastard! Still dare to glare at me? Believe it or not, I kill you. I don't even know if you're a MY kid. Your mother was just a cheap AKTV hostess. If the old lady aunt insisted on keeping you, do you think you could have entered the Davis family's door? The fierce-looking middle-aged man, saying Chloe didn't reply, picked up a brick from the ground and violently smashed it against her head. Blood dripped from her forehead, staining her blue and white school uniform. If you dare mention that ship name in front of me again, I kill you. The man in gorilla grabbed Chloe's hair. The sound of slaps echoing. Chloe was beaten black and blue by the man. Her forehead bleeding, her mouth bruised, but she didn't make a sound, as if she was said to the man's Airbus. No one dared to intervene. I only heard the driver and horse keeper sighing nearby. This child has a hard life. Her mother was a KTV hostess. Her father doesn't acknowledge her. Sees her as a disgrace, living cautiously in the Davis family, often beaten until she's bleeding. What a scene! I was shocked. I always thought Chloe was a career, but I never imagined she was born into such a suffocating family with such a mother. Terrified by the scene of abuse, I quickly called the police, but the driver came over and stopped me. Cowling the polis isus celis. This is a family dispute, and the Davis family's influence is not something you can afford to erfend. I advise you, Kit, not to meddle in other people's business. Kit, you understand the principle of sweeping the snow from you on the doorstep and not worrying about the frost on notice roofers, right? En my emotions were keren perks as I looked at Schley, but when ik bedstedle our ace met. The momentjes o me, hoor vibrant wees tern jetli pale. Shock, panic, helplessness. Various emotions flashed across her eyes. Her eyelashes trembled, and she heard her vaidite moai gazi. Back then, I didn't understand Chloe's thoughts. She didn't want the person she liked to see her in such a wretched and helpless state. Anyone could see, but not me. At that time, I just wanted to help a classmate. So, I mustered the courage to step forward and threaten the man. If you already called the police, if you don't let her go, you'll be waiting for jail. Hearing the words called the police, the man glared at me fiercely. Do you know who I am? Believe it or not, I find someone to kill you. I sneered. Even if you're the king of heaven, if you hit someone, you'll still have to be locked up for 24 hours. The man furiously raised his fist towards me, but then the housekeeper rushed over and stopped him. Sir, the company is about to go public. Don't cause trouble. The man reluctantly lowered his fist. Before leaving, he disgustingly spat on a moai shoe. Kid, you just wait. After the man left, I wanted to take Chloe to the hospital, but she ruthlessly shook over my hand. She reachedly wiped the blood from her face, slowly turned her head, her voice like ice. Get lost. I wasn't angry. Her temper was always unpredictable. As I was about to leave, a woman dressed provocatively, arm in arm with a middle-aged man with a beard, walked towards us. If witnessing Chloe being abused made her angry, then the next thing completely shattered her mental world. The woman walked straight to Chloe. This is your stepfather. Your stepfather lost money gambling. You're a Davis heiress. Give me money. Chloe's eyes were bloodshot. I don't have money. You don't have money. The woman patted Chloe's face. You're a Davis eyes and you don't have money. Did I give birth to you for nothing? If I desperately tried to seduce Mayor Davis back when I was a bar hostess, would you hissed? Could you enter the Davis family and be a young lady? When the woman mentioned being a bar hostess, Chloe looked at me nervously. Seeing I was still there, she gritted her teeth and roared at the woman. Enough. Stop talking. Chloe didn't know that I had already found out her mother was a hostess when she was being beaten by her father. Seeing Chloe won't give her money, the woman threatened. If you don't give me a 100,000 in a week, you go tell Mayor Davis you're not his biological daughter and you'll be thrown out onto the streets. After speaking, the woman took the man's arm and got into a car without looking back. Chloe unshed a single tear, even when her father beat her bloody. But now her eyes were red and filled with tears, staring at the direction the woman left for a long, long time. If you don't treat me well, why did you give birth to me? She stood there on the street as dusk fell. Her spine momentarily bent. The sky grew darker and the night finally swallowed her. When she turned, I had already left. I knew she didn't want to see me still standing there, prying at her scars. The next day, Chloe came to school as if nothing had happened. She wasn't dejected, not down. Her temper was bad and fierce as ever. What was different was that she was even fiercer towards me. I knew she blamed me for stumbling upon her secret. A suffocating family, an abusive father, a hostess mother. All the unbearable respect she wanted to hide, I had witnessed. Our already distant relationship grew even further apart. But this time, knowing the whole truth, I wouldn't let her face these hardships alone. I ran, pointing, to the Grand View restaurant and seeing the scene before me, and my eyes widened in astonishment. Chloe was holding a wooden stick, her fat hair face covered in blood, as she forcefully pressed him against the wall. You dare hit your father, you infidel child, Chloe sneered, tapping the man's head with a wooden stick. Remember this. From now on, every time you hit me, I hit you back. After the man staggered away, Chloe's gaze shifted to me. Seeing me, the shock and helplessness were gone from her eyes. Soon after, Chloe's mother arrived with a man. Chloe threw down the wooden stick and slapped the woman. I have no money. If you want to threaten me, go ahead. I happen to not want to stay in the Davis family anymore. I was momentarily stunned. How had the events unfolded differently? Was it because I had traveled back to my high school days and changed the original course of events? After dealing with everything, Chloe asked me, "What are you doing here?" She seemed very tired, glanced at me, and then sat directly on the stone steps beside the door. After a moment of bewilderment, I walked over and squatted in front of her. I gently hugged her. "I have candy. Want some? It's very sweet." Chloe's body stiffened for a moment. After a pause, she barely buried her head in my neck. Her voice mouthed, "Yes, life is too bitter." I took out a candy and fed it to her. "The bitter days are over. Life will be very sweet from now on." Chloe, soaking on the candy, started crying. At the energy of confusion, nothing really goes as planned. I didn't ask her what happened, didn't ask anything, just quietly held her. In this world, everyone experiences their own snowfalls, each with their own hidden deepness and brightness. No one can truly empathize completely. She had suffered too much. I absolutely saw and repaint her wounds. If one day she wanted to comfort me about the pain of her family, I would hold her in my arms just like now, gently hold her and feed her another candy, telling her the bitter days were over. Before long, the sky completely darkened, as heavy and black as that other day. Chloe silently leaned into my neck. After a very long time, she finally stood up. Before leaving, I looked back at that oppressive and dark street. A street light nearby suddenly lit up and the gear slender figure stood beside the lamppost. When she looked at me, her light was flickered with a faint light. She carried her a and smiled. "Ethan, see you tomorrow." I felt a momentary daze. She seemed different, stronger. "Ethan, wake up. Time for school. You're going to be late." I rolled over and mumbled, "Don't call me." "Ethan, stop sleeping. Get up quickly. I don't want to wake up. Don't call me." My blanket was suddenly yanked out. "Get up quickly. Don't call me." I painted my centrout. I said, "I don't want to wake up. I don't want to wake up. Don't you understand?" My mom stood beside my bed, suddenly stunned. She asked in astonishment, "Ethan, did you take the wrong medicine? Why are you so irritable? What are you so worked up about me waking you for school?" I was this for a moment. My chest felt inexplicably tight, unable to breathe. Right. Why was I so agitated? "Sorry, Mom. Get up now." I hurriedly washed up. At school, while going upstairs, I saw Kevin from class by blocking Chile at the staircase. Kevin said, "I help you study. Getting into college will definitely be no problem." Chloe stood on the stairs. Her pretty face froze for a moment. Seeing she didn't reply, Kevin nervously clenched his hands. "Honestly, I like you. I want you to get on the right track." He flusteredly explained, "It's not because you blocked the ball for me yesterday that I started liking you. Do you remember the first day of school? The sun was very bright that day. You were late for the flag raising ceremony and you suddenly ran in front of me. Just as I looked up, you unexpectedly turned round and smiled at me. Looking at your smile, then I was lost in thought for a long time. Chloe, Evie liked you since that moment. I.T.S. and Southern. Evie liked you for a long time. Everyone in school knew Kevin liked Chloe back then. His affection was passionate and open. I vaguely remember during a lunch break back then, I went to the restroom and passed by the corridor where Kevin and his friends were walking. Kevin was staring affectionately at Chloe, who was sleeping with her head on the desk. His friend even complained, "What do you like about Chloe? Besides being pretty, she doesn't seem to have any other good qualities. Her temper is terrible. Why do you like her?" Kevin just smiled nonchalantly. Looking at Chloe, he smiled even more happily. "No reason." I asked my heart and it said its own help it. "You're pretty good at singing Mary Luan's romantic lines, Kid." I pushed her aside my memories and looked up at Chloe. She stood on the stairs. Her face beautiful and delicate. A gentle breeze rustled the fine hairs on her forehead, revealing her fair yet delicate neck. She usually had a cold expression, but when she smiled, it was as if spring had arrived there, charming and unrestrained, making it impossible to look away. Yes, Chloe had always been dazzling. She deserved there to be like by someone outstanding. I have a boyfriend. Chloe pointed at me. Kevin turned round in surprise. He'd so believed Chloe had a boyfriend. He had never heard of Chloe liking a new one. Are you really her boyfriend? I nodded. Yes, I pursued her. We just got together yesterday. Her temper isn't good. Maybe you should find someone else to like. And as for tutoring, I can't help her with that. Kevin laughed at his hidden disappointment and said to me, Okay, I won't bother her anymore. I knew she would reject me. I just didn't want you to have regrets. After he left, Chloe said to me faintly, Thanks. I frowned. What do you mean? Are you seeing me as I should? Chloe approached me. What? Then tell me you actually like me. Silence hung in there for a few seconds. I looked at her seriously. There is no question about that. Her figure paused slightly. I think you are afraid of my bad temper. As she spoke, she suddenly brought her face close to mine, smiling seductively. How about this? You kiss me once, and from now on, I be obedient and listen to you. If you tell me to go east, absolutely not. Go west. She unfinished speaking before I kissed her, shutting her up. She froze on the spot, her face instantly blushing. I shook my head, grabbed her arm, and walked towards the classroom. Go back, study. I was exasperated with her, so unskilled yet so fond of flirting. In the classroom, I swapped seats with a classmate to sit next to Chloe. I opened a textbook, intending to tutor her, but then I remembered that in the past, because she had left her original family, she didn't go to college, but she had to work and later went into business. I closed the textbook again and comforted Chloe. There are 360 traits and every trait has its master. Just be yourself. Chloe ignored me and took out a test paper to work on. I rubbed my eyes. Then poked Amy in the front row. Look, she's doing problems. Amy slept herself. I told myself I shouldn't stay up all night playing games. I'm hallucinating. Amy took off her school uniform, jacket and dropped it over Chloe's head. Chloe, go to sleep. Chloe snatched the jacket off and threw it at Amy, glaring at us angrily. Don't be angry. I stood up and pulled the curtains. That's better. Go to sleep. Amy gave a thumbs up. Top student, you're always so considerate. Chloe tapped her fingers on the desk. Can you two be quiet? Don't disturb. Am I studying? Amy and I said in unison, You're studying. You, too. Stop being so sarcastic. Heavens! I really wasn't being sarcastic. I was genuinely surprised. I thought Chloe was just kidding on a whim, but I didn't expect her to actually be studying seriously. And it isn't just a treated passion. In the following days, she worked very hard every day. She moved out of the Davis house and rented a small apartment. She studied desperately every day and worked part-time jobs like crazy to save for college tuition. Chloe had strong self-esteem and refused to take my money. Wanting to do something for her, I secretly went to tidy her room and cook for her, hoping she could relax a bit after a hard day. Just as I finished, I heard her Amos voices, so I subconsciously slipped out the back door and hid. Amy saw the table full of food and excitedly called out to Chloe, Chloe, you've got a secret helper in your house. The two sat down and picked up their chopsticks to eat. I eagerly peeked through the window. I wondered if the food suited Chloe's taste. Amy and Chloe bent over, reaching violently. Amy wiped her face, indignantly cursing. The neighbors drying chili peppers at their door. Damn it! Who cooked this? It's so freaking awful. Chloe, have you ever offended someone recently? Chloe thought for a moment. No, don't waste food. It's not easy to earn money now. Chloe picked up a piece of meat and put it in her mouth. Ok, ha! She rinsed her mouth. Forget it. Let's just eat out. Chloe, You should change the scrappy look on you daur. You can pull it open with a little flowers. I don't know which malicious person came to cook for you. Change the look. Don't let them in. Don't let them poison you to death. Okay. Seeing them leave, I picked up my chopsticks and tasted the food. Was I said, but they were yehagirating. Damn, I really was a ufru. I gave up cooking and thought over another way. I carried a large bag out. And my mom called out to me, "Where are you going?" I have something to do. I had just stepped out the door when my mom from behind. Honey, have you been a bit recently? Things in the house are disappearing negligible, and here the cooked food is always gone. The cold dishes and pickles I made in the fridge are all gone. That's not even the worst of it. It feels like the house is about to be emptied. And my mom rolled her eyes at him. Your son has been carrying a big bag out every day, and you're only noticing now. I put the food in Claire's fridge so she could heat it up herself when she got back. I also took out toilet paper, laundry detergent, toothbrushes, shower gel, and other daily necessities. This way, they all have to spend money on them. In our respective business, time flew by. The cicadas chirped incessantly in summer, and before we knew it, we were in our senior year of high school, about to take the college entrance exams. I asked Chloe, "What school do you want to apply to?" Chloe rested her chin on her hand, looking out the window, her voice lazy. "Medical school. Why do you want to study medicine?" I was surprised. "What about you?" Chloe lowered her hand, her eyes curving as she looked at me. Clearly, she was changing the subject. "I want to get into a new school of law." Chloe's pupils were done slightly in surprise. "Why do you want to change your major?" After returning to high school, I had never said what major I wanted to study. So, how could it be a chance? The Chloe always seemed to see through everything, making me feel like she had been reborn. If that were true, how wonderful it would be. If she were reborn, she could weigh the hardships of her family with more detachment and less pain. She could also avoid many bad things in the future. I hope she could live a little easier this life. Seeing me thus, Chloe snapped her fingers in front of me. "What are you daydreaming about? Why do you want to change your major?" I smiled without saying anything because I wanted to be a lawyer in the future. If any bust bully Chloe again, I would tear him to death. I think lawyers are cool. I took a strawberry-flavored candy from my pocket and offered it to Chloe's lips. "Here, open your mouth." Chloe moved her lips. "Ah." I smiled and pinched her fair cheek. "So good. Let's work hard to get into the college entrance exams." The calendar were numbers for the college entrance exam on the Blackboard decreased debut day. Soon, high school graduation arrived there, and our youth remained in the school-working summer. The sweat we shed was not in vain. Chloe and I successfully got into our ideal universities. After entering university, Chloe and I were in different cities, talking on the phone for hours every day, starting a long-distance relationship. We occasionally argued. I heard from her roommate that many handsome guys were pursuing her. In a fit of anger, I bought a ticket to Austin to find her. On the train, I called Chloe. "Come pick me up at the station later." Chloe said, "Don't tell me you came to find me." I had a bad feeling. "Don't tell me you came to find me, too." We both sighed helplessly into the phone. "Let's find a meet point and get off the gate." After getting off the train, it started to rain. I stood on the steps of the station, waiting for a long time. Just as I was wondering why Chloe hadn't arrived yet, I saw a beautiful face moving right before my eyes. Chloe smiled sweetly, leaning closer to me, so close that our noses touched. The next second, she kissed me. "Stop being angry." "Okay," she could, resting her arm on my shoulder. I took a bus, and as soon as I got off at the bus station, I ran right over. I was very angry. "Why didn't you take a taxi? Can't you stop trying to save money and making yourself sour?" I tenderly touched her face, wet with sweat. "Are you tired from running?" "Not tired. Not tired at all seeing you." We both smiled foolishly. As it grew dark, we held hands affectionately, looking for a place to stay. At the hotel, we looked at each other. I had booked a room with 2 beds. After sitting for a while, I felt a bit awkward and said, I'm going to take a shower. Or if Rachel would misunderstand. I explained, I'm really just, wanting to take a shower. I feel losticky. Члена did. Okay, go ahead. After I came out rolled up tightly, I jumped onto the bed and dived under the covers. I said, don't worry,